All right. So, welcome back to another episode of The Dressing Room, where we try on new perspectives, one conversation at a time. And today's episode, we are going to be talking about healing or hiding. Are you healing or hiding from your traumas or situations that have occurred that causes you what we call it? Triggers.
Right.
So today we'll be dissecting the difference between healing and hiding so you'll know what it looks like, and I guess how to go about healing if you
Healing
need.
and knowing you're on the road to healing.
Right.
Yeah, how to tell the difference between whether you're healing or just um hiding
Or
from
avoiding.
the avoiding. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because there is a difference, and I think sometimes they can appear to look the same.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because even when we got the topic, I'm like, okay, how do you even know if you're not healing? What if this is my way of healing? Or how do I know if I'm hiding from it when, yeah, I just
I,
don't know if I'm hiding from it. Because when we brought the conversation up and then you ask yourself, like, am I healing or am I hiding? Like, what if part of my healing is hiding from that nigga? It's like, no.
well, healing healing wouldn't really be hiding. It would be facing on whatever situation you got with that guy on
Yeah,
head
yeah, I agree.
on, or and
If
even if it's letting him go, and then and then thinking about, well, what
hiding space should I use? Like, no, you don't.
letting him go, and then saying, okay, well, what went wrong, and dealing with that so you
Right.
won't carry it into the next
Okay. So,
situation.
what is
But
the difference between
um
healing and hiding?
well, healing is it requires you to actually face what's going on.
Right.
You know, hiding requires you to escape. When we want to escape, when we're hiding from something, when we take on like a substance, we decide, well, let me smoke, let me drink, or pour myself into work, or whatever your vice is, because there are many vices out there, and that's when you know you're escaping your healing. And it feels good because right now you're busy doing stuff, so you think you're good
Mm-hmm.
until
You come back down,
till you come down and
and
it's all
everything you
still
was trying,
there.
yeah, that you was trying to run from is still on the table.
Right. And then you be like, oh, and then something triggers you. Because a lot of times, think about it, if you high or if you've been drinking, maybe, or if you're having fun or you're numb, you might not get triggered because you kind of have,
Exactly. You zoned out.
yeah,
That makes sense.
depending on what kind of drunk you are. But,
And that's probably why some people got to keep drinking from the time they wake up until the time they go to sleep so
yeah.
they can continue to numb the pain.
Keep that pain numb. Like when you having a baby and you be like, keep that epidural coming.
You
Now
keep
y'all
pressing the
see
button.
that we didn't have a button back then. I only had it once out of the four kids I had,
You
but
think you better
there
than
was
us
no
because you didn't
button.
have none of the other three
No,
kids?
I don't think I'm better.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any. This has nothing to do with the episode, but I didn't have none with the other three my other three children because I didn't like the way it made me feel with Misha. Like I said, my legs, everything was swollen. I couldn't feel my contractions when it was time for me to push. And I'm like, this is just not normal.
Oh,
And
okay.
and I ain't want them sticking that damn needle in my back 3 more times.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I
So
hid from the needle.
we got to get back to the episode.
I hid.
Oh, you was hiding.
So I could heal from that pain in my back.
So when we was
Yes.
talking about it, we was going over grief, and that was my most recent situation that occurred, and I had to sit and think, like, am I healing from it or am I hiding from it? Because going to work does make me feel better because I'm surrounded by my coworkers and we laughing, we joking, we playing. So is work an escape? And I'm not overworking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking on extra shifts, but I do enjoy being at work to be around that laughter and that community that I have at work, so I don't have to think about it, because I tend to think about it in my quiet hour when
Right.
everybody's gone. It's silent in the house, and you got ample amount of time to think. But it made me think, like, am I hiding, or am I just dealing with it the way that I know how to deal with it?
Well, when you are alone and you do think about it, how do you feel?
It's a mix. Sometimes it's like, dang,
Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel like crying?
Rarely. It's more happier times than not. Not really crying. I think it's more like a dang, she not gonna be at my wedding.
Mm-hmm. I think if you don't,
she not gonna be at my daughter's graduation. Mm-hmm. More like a dang, she not gonna be there, but not like a nobody told me nothing. Right. Not like a bawling. You know what I'm saying? Right. I had one episode, but then after that, no. I think.
Well, then you're doing great. I think it's when you're in that quiet moment and you feel like crying, and you be like, no, and you stop it. That's when you're hiding. That's when you're avoiding the pain because you don't want to feel it. But if you think about it and you really don't feel like crying, then
I felt like that, but it'd be at certain moments. Like, I felt that way when Damien was on the TV. Because I said she would have been so excited for him. And I was trying to balance still being happy for him. But I feel I was like almost having, like, I don't know if you would call it a panic attack, but I was struggling and he didn't know it, because I knew how I wasn't struggling. Yeah. But I was struggling bad, because it made me think of, because I would have called her and be like, oh my, guess what Damien? It's like she was rooting for him just as much as I was. So right. Certain moments make me think about it. And at that particular moment, he don't even know, but I was struggling, because I'm like, running. I guess that would be considered running from it. But my reason for doing that was because you already having your own moment, and I don't want to make this about me.
And I wouldn't even say running from it, because in that moment you really couldn't. You were in a place where you couldn't just break down. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that was really just controlling the moment. But I don't feel like I think when you're alone, if you need to cry, you will cry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or if you feel like whatever you feel in the moment, you right
in my car.
Yeah, you was just crying about the heat, the air.
It was cold in here.
But yeah. Now I'm hot. But yeah, so I don't think you're hiding at all.
But we also spoke on a particular grief situation that you've had, where you've done a lot of hiding from one, and with the other one you kind of leaned into it to be able to heal from it. So what was that like?
Well, the one I leaned into, that was my first boyfriend. When he died, I actually would go and sit at his grave a lot, like for a while, like almost every day. Yeah. And I don't know, I just felt closer to him there. And I would sit and I would talk. I immersed myself in it. I would go and sit at his grave and just be there. I just needed to feel closer to him. And that was my way of healing. And even like when I wasn't there, whenever he would come up, I actually would, feel that pain. I would cry. I would go through, and I went through it for a while, for months, probably over a year. And it was hard because I was in a relationship with somebody else. So that's another thing about dealing with that, healing from grief. When you're crying over someone else and you're with somebody, but that's difficult. That's difficult, and especially if we were younger. So, I don't want to bad talk him, but they weren't on the best terms, and the statement he made was very immature at the time. But that way, I'm not gonna be able to lean on you.
What was the statement?
And dealing with this grief? Um,
The people want to know.
Cause I got the phone call like maybe like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and he made a comment. No, it wasn't even then when he made the comment. I think he said something smart and rolled over. But when I went to the funeral, and he was like, was you screaming and hollering, acting a fool, and all? Like it was like a weird comment
Like
he
an
made, like
immature
very
comment.
immature, like.
So you trying to deal with your grief from in past situation while you're in a new situation was very
Right.
hard.
Yeah, and it
Because
was
they weren't understanding.
no.
Do you
not
think
at
you
all.
would have been understanding though if it was the opposite way around?
I think I would have, because I understand I know what that feels like, to, even though we weren't together, to still lose somebody that was so close to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like loss is loss no matter
I agree.
who it is. So I feel like I wouldn't want to take that from anybody. I wouldn't have felt threatened. And my thing is, why would I be immature and feel threatened by somebody that's not even no longer here?
Right.
What? Why?
You feel like that was more about him? I mean, I know what it is.
Oh yeah. It was still It wasn't
Do you
even
feel like the immaturity was an age. I mean, like I would say an age thing because y'all was what? How old was you?
Man was like 1, 2. That was in 99. I think that happened 99.
So 30 something.
2000. Yeah. Somewhere around the end of my 20s, early 30s, somewhere in the middle, somewhere right in there. Yeah, and it was immaturity and ego, because like I said, he still felt some type of way, because me and him still had a relationship, but still it's like somebody just got killed, and it ain't like he got killed. Like, it was like, really? That's right? Like, but so now that I'm dealing with that on top of the grief from losing him, and now I gotta grieve in silence. I can't grieve out loud. Right? I'm not gonna grieve around y'all. I can't grieve around my current partner. So now I gotta go sit in silence and find space to actually do it. But I did do it.
Okay, well that's good. That's good that you still did it.
Now when Misha's father died, it was a little different. I kind of kept trying to avoid the fact that it just felt like if I don't think about it, it didn't really happen. And I did that for a while. And the fact that it was hard for me to accept it because the night before he died, he asked for me to come and see him. And I said, I'm tired, I'll come tomorrow. So the guilt behind not going stayed with me. So, dealing with that. So I really avoided that for a minute until I couldn't anymore. And I eventually leaned into it, but I spent some time trying to escape that feeling, not face it, not deal with it.
What did you do? Drink?
Well, that's always been my go-to.
Did you try coke?
No.
Cocaine?
Why would I do that?
I just want to know. Just want to see what you're going to say.
No. No.
Why would
I've never tried the booger sugar.
The way you said it.
No, I never thought about trying that. I'm going to be honest with you, because I thought,
you did try.
because I feel like I always thought about, what if you snort it, go straight to your brain, you die. That was my thought. I always thought that. And I know people do it and they live, but I just figured my life was
like, that ain't supposed to go there. I don't think I'm supposed to go there.
I'm not risking that one.
Well, I guess we did talk about the difference between knowing whether you're grieving or if you're hiding.
Yeah.
When it comes to somebody passing away. And I do feel like mine is more of grieving, where you kind of explained the situation where you were hiding from one, and the other one you was just grieving. You leaned into it and you did what you needed to do in order to get through it after so many months. So we also figured out that to be able to figure out the things that still need healing is if they trigger you. If certain things trigger you. So if something comes up, somebody say something, a topic comes up, and it still makes you feel a way inside, then you're still healing from that particular thing. Where yours was, what's one of yours that you said you was healing from?
For a trigger?
being in a committed relationships trigger, Matasha? It's something about having to spend my time in my bed, in my personal space with another human being.
No, really. I think because I've spent so much time alone, and I know some of y'all out there can agree with me that when you have, see, on my road to healing is how I started to spend so much time alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I felt like I just need to I need to learn how to love me for me.
Right.
Because I don't want to go, because first of all, I didn't trust my decisions anymore because I had looked back and like, wrong, blah, blah, blah. So now I said, I'm going to spend some time by myself. So I've spent so much time by myself. When somebody talks about, well, being in a relationship, I be thinking, he going to want to know where I'm going, where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to discuss stuff with him. He going to sleep in my bed. I get hot. I don't want nobody touch me. Like,
all the things that
I'm going to have to do relationship. And it's not that I don't want to be in relationship, because I do.
I know you do.
But I also need somebody that's going to understand where I am. And I actually want him to come with the understanding. I don't want to spend a lot of time teaching you how to love me.
That's a lot to be asking.
It really is. That's why I ain't in relationship. I don't even want to put that pressure on somebody. Now, I truly do believe, and I was watching a movie and it said this, I probably would prefer my person to have been married already before.
Okay.
So they have experienced what I've experienced, so we can come together and do something different, and so it'll work. Yeah, be like, we done already experienced that. And if I don't want to get married, he'll be like, y'all, we ain't spend all that money. I mean, not get married, but not spend the money. He'll understand why I don't want to spend $40,000 on the wedding, because if he did it already and it didn't work, why are we going to do that again?
Think all that spending is usually the man?
Some of them.
Oh, you think they be wanting to do it?
Some of them, but they don't say no.
They don't. How they going to say? I mean,
they can. They say no about a lot of other stuff.
I mean, mine don't.
Well, my thing is, you can say no. If you can cheat, you can say no.
What I'm saying is, if he want to make you happy, and that's what you're saying, I really want the unicorn coming out, he's not going to say no. He might not care about having the shit, but he's not going to just be like,
I want my man to say no.
We going to the courthouse, and we going that means that you wouldn't even put him in a position to say no, because you're not even going to ask for nothing.
I'm really not.
Right. So I don't want my man to say no. I'm not putting that in the atmosphere at all. We're going to put in the atmosphere for me. Yes. That's all I want to hear all year long. Not no no's.
If I sound ridiculous, I want my man to, what I'm saying, because there are some people that don't know no better. So saying, yeah, I want to fly in on a helicopter, laying down on on the beach. And if that's your dream and you can afford it, fine. But if you got to take out loans that's going to cause you to have to spend the next 20 years paying off a wedding, it's just ridiculous. To me, that's me. That's how I feel. I'm not doing it.
Worry about yourself.
You probably
somebody else might want to fly in.
Well, fly on in. I'm going to fly, but I ain't going to be for no wedding.
You burning up over there?
A little bit. But, yeah, what was we?
You can't even think. Can't even think.
Because you went all into my personal business and my triggers about being in a relationship.
Well, we were talking about what triggers you.
Yeah, and that does sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, I think that's probably why I don't date like I probably not necessarily should, but should, in order to find my person.
I know we discussed that one of my triggers were like separation. Was that what you had said?
Yeah, like being separated, or like
being possessive.
Feeling, I think you have like attachment issues or separation anxiety things going on, like abandonment issues. You don't really like to be separated from people you love and care about, or feel like they're leaving, even if it's just for a short period. There's a discomfort there for you.
I think it's a discomfort there, but
I mean, if it triggers tears.
I knew I should have never recorded that.
But you did. It's okay. Maybe that's a way for you to start healing, so you could look back at it.
Maybe that's a way for you to start healing.
You know, a trigger for me is my children.
That's just him.
Like, and y'all are grown, but if y'all call me, somebody has said something, I'm immediately like, sometimes I'm so triggered. I'm like, I want to be able to control that. Mm-hmm. Like, they're grown now, and I'm still like,
yeah,
who, you know, ready to.
Yeah. You had some things that you were supposed to say, but
and I don't even think. Yeah, I don't even think that's a bad. Do you think that's a bad trigger? Can you have good triggers?
I don't know.
I was thinking about that last night. Like, okay, we always speak about triggers in a negative way, but are they all negative?
I mean, a trigger is what you pull on a gun. So I think any gun that's being pulled is negative.
Well, not if it's protecting you.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way.
I mean, because
it could be.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be.
Maybe that trigger is that thing that maybe sparks something to protect. Because I think my trigger with y'all is more about protection than it being harmful to somebody. But it does. I can go from 0 to 100, and that might not be healthy. But yeah, why we avoid healing? That's a big one. Because I know for a fact we avoid healing more so the fear of pain. Like, nobody really wants to sit in that pain of healing. Because it's a process to get to the other side. It can be very painful.
And if you got to sit and go through it and deal with it and listen to it and endure it, that's a process of pain. And don't nobody want to sit there and feel like that.
Yeah.
I think it creates a vulnerable state that a lot of people don't want to be in.
That's why a lot of people don't want to go to therapy. Because that's a part of healing.
A vulnerability
state. They're going to call your stuff out.
They're going to ask you questions and take you down memory lane and make you think about all the things that you don't want to think about, or bring up the things that you've already buried and you think you've buried and you put away and you really haven't. So it kind of pulls out all of those things that you have already put in the back of your head, and now you got to sit here and face it. That can be painful.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're ready for it, it can still be painful once you get into it. You know.
Right. And you have that fear of where you have to change.
Oh yeah.
Because once you go through the healing process and you face it, now you got to deal with changing it.
Yeah. You're right.
You know,
you got to be a better person.
You got to be a better person. And a lot of people don't want to go through the healing process because they become so comfortable with what's familiar. Mm-hmm. This is familiar. This feels safe.
Right.
If I start to heal, I won't feel, I'm going to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Because I'll be shifting into another space in my life. You know, and a lot of people are afraid of what's ahead. We know what's behind. We know what's right here. We don't know what's on the other side of healing, and we fear that, so we want to stay in our comfort zone.
I agree.
Right. So, and some people just don't know how to heal. They just like, where do I start? What do I do? They don't know. It's not like when we growing up, we're like, okay, when you're gonna go through some things and this how you one explains that to you.
This is what you gotta do.
Right. Like, I wish somebody had taught me about meditation early on. I wish I had learned that technique to meditate. I spent a lot of time alone. I could have been meditating all that time.
That's legit.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, not knowing is a big thing. So, but.
You know, I also spoke about how people can be triggers. Versus situations. There are certain people that triggers me. You bring their name up and they say they're going to be in it. You like, I ain't going. And not that you trigger me in a way where it's like, oh, I'm so bothered and did it. But there's people and you think about them and who you remember them as, and you like, I don't want to be nowhere near that human being at all.
Oh yeah, I got some of those triggers.
Yeah, those triggers run deep too, and it comes from unhealed situations.
Definitely, because all the ones I can run through my head right now was never resolved, and we just had to move on from it.
You don't even know if they're healable. Like, can I?
Some of them are not healable.
You gotta heal. You gotta heal from it by yourself, and then you gotta figure out, how do I be in the same atmosphere with this person after I had to heal on my own? I didn't even get to have that conversation with you or get an apology or reconcile the situation or even hear your perspective to even come to some type of closure. I had to heal alone and find a way to forgive in my own space without that person even being present. But then a situation comes up and you got to be in the same area as them. And then it's like, how do I deal with this? It's one thing if they died, but if they didn't, now how do I maneuver through this time?
I think that's where you know, like, especially say if it's family, you decide that whatever function it is, even if it's a funeral and that person's going to be there, I'm just not going.
I don't want to be there.
I don't want to go. I don't want to be there. And it really depends on how deep the trigger is or what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know. You might, some people you can be around and as long as they stay on their side of the room, saying y'all good. Yeah. Some people, as soon as you see them,
everything in you feel away. Yeah.
You might go off, and so you don't want to put yourself in that position or them in that position. And
I don't feel like I might go off, but it does. It does.
Yeah, bring up like anxiety about
it. Like,
that's
exactly what it is. It's an anxiety thing.
It is
like, oh wow, because it reminds you of the situation that took place, the person, all of that, and it's a lot to deal with.
And you know what I was going to say, that I think I sent you the video on Instagram about how we have to see each other as energies.
Yeah, I saw that.
That right there made me think about, if you see everybody as an energy, not a person, just as energies in different colors. And if red stood for alarming, you wouldn't go in, exactly. You're gonna go the other way. So think of it that way.
Exactly.
They're alarming.
Very alarming.
Why would I approach that person? Why would I put myself at the same table or in the same room with that alarming energy? And just decide. And it's okay. I don't give a damn if it's been 10 years, 20 years. However long the relationship is, it could be family, your mama, your father, your brother. If the energy is toxic, just, remove it. You have a right to protect your energy.
I agree. And I believe that healing looks like time. I do believe that time heals. I've seen in situations where I didn't like somebody's man or somebody's girlfriend and I ain't seen them in 2 years and be like, how's she doing? It's almost as if you forgot what they did 2-3 years ago.
Right.
But I do feel like over time, the heart heals situations. It's just that you got to give it some time. Even in arguments. Because we're not even just talking about grief when we talk about hiding or healing. We talking about situations that may occur when it comes to you and your spouse or you and a friend or you and your mom. Whether you tackle it head on or if you hide from it. Like, do you go and you say, you know what, we need to talk about this. We need to heal this situation that took place. We need to discuss it. Or I ain't talking to her. She ain't talking to me. But whatever it is, I feel like even when they say, hey, if you get upset, you get angry, give yourself some time and then come back.
Right.
It heals you a little bit before you're not as hot as you was in the beginning. I've done that. I actually do that currently in my relationship. If I'm at a 10, then if I'm off the Don Julio, then there's nothing that you can do. But if I'm at a 10 and I know I'm at a 10, I'll call people that I know will make me laugh. I'll get on a FaceTime with Man and Nay, you real quick. Y'all won't even know. But I know this is going to get my mind back down to ground level.
Right.
Then I'll go and have the conversation because I done laughed. Or I will call somebody, get all my shit talking out. Because all the stuff that I need to get out, I'm going to get all of that out.
Right.
And then I'm ready.
So when you go to the person, you can talk, have a level head.
Can I talk to you? Because all the crazy stuff that I wanted to say, I done got it out.
He ain't even had to hear.
He ain't even have to
hear. You don't even know what I said about you.
You have no
15 minutes
clue. But honesty with yourself, I do feel like, no, I'm in the wrong spot. No, I am. I'm in the right spot.
And you cannot hear what you are not willing to face.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times we're not willing to, like if something happened to you when you was a child and you don't want to talk about it, you're never going to heal from that thing if you don't talk about it. You're hiding. You're like, well, I mean, it was when I was younger. It don't even bother me no more. But it does.
From the way you're responding to me, it's coming off. You know, you can always tell when somebody still needs to heal from something by their reaction to it. And that's basically like a trigger. If I say something to you and you come out of a bag, that still makes you feel away.
Exactly.
That's a trigger.
People don't realize that.
But people won't decide at that moment that I need to go figure this thing out. Because you'll start to throw up on people that never did anything to you. You'll start to vomit. You know, you'll start to word vomit on people because how am I supposed to meet you and already know your triggers? I won't know. So if I'm kicking, girl, your bald head self. They used to call me bald head. Back in the military. Wait, I didn't even know you was in the military. Like all of your triggers, I'm gonna have to learn you before I can joke again because now we had a disadvantage. I'm at a disadvantage because you haven't healed that thing that you needed to heal. You know what I'm saying?
Or from relationship to relationship, that one relationship that you're damaged from, and then you get in a new one, and he just say something, it remind you of the last one. You like, what?
Excuse me?
You go, oh,
are you dumb?
And he now looking at you like,
what did I do?
And he literally don't know. Now you don't know what you did.
So you can play dumb.
Don't know.
Yeah, that healing thing is such a huge, it's a huge thing because you realize that I'm basically faulting this person here for something that happened to me years ago. They didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And if you don't heal it to the point where it don't bother you, then you'll forever be triggered. You'll forever be triggered.
Yeah,
because you don't want to handle the things you need to handle. And then how can we be in relationship, whether it's friendship, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, if you carrying all this baggage and I can't even sit and joke and have fun with you, and I've went and healed all my things, and you just a big box of
we're not even gonna be equally yoked because at some point and that's how people end up apart. Because think about it, if two people get together, most of us get together, especially if we get together young and we do have traumas, which is most of everybody has some form of trauma. Our traumas more than likely attracted us to each other. You start to heal and I stay all messed up. You gonna want to leave because your energy don't want to live in this space no more. It can't. Those energies they fight. And they're fighting to occupy the space.
And then coming around you feels like I'm walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to feel like my best relationships, I don't feel nothing. Yeah. No eggshells, no chicken heads, no crack heads, no nothing. Just clean, fresh air. Just taste it.
Taste it.
But I feel free to speak freely. I can say things because the people that I'm around are grounded. They know who they are. I don't care if you call them bald head, fat head, small head, little toe, big toe. They like, girl, but I'm still her. You know what I'm saying? I'm still stepping.
Right.
It doesn't bother them. It just, even if they was clowned about that not having no titties. You're flat chested. Okay, and I will bag your nigga. So I feel like once you become sure of yourself, there's nothing nobody can say or do to you. Right. And it doesn't bother you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was clowned. I was bullied. I would say that about my hands being big, my lips being big, and my feet being big. Just a big ball of big. Just one big ball. Right? But today it's just like my man love my hands.
And that's all that matters.
And my lips.
I'm sure.
He even told me that shoes only look nice on, bigger feet.
Oh, I don't care. Being nice. Oh
yeah, so listen, you can't tell me a mother
because that was a lie.
Some heels don't even look right on small feet, bro. I thought it was a lot too when he said it, but listen, hey, we gonna roll with it. I never cared.
If it makes you feel better, then that's his job. He on his job.
All of those things, and it was only, I think out of all of those things, it was more my hands because I didn't even realize how big they was until I was like, you know what? People on this show probably didn't realize how they like, damn, let me see, zoom in on that video. But when you so secure in yourself and you know who you are, you know what you bring to the table, you just like, I'm still her.
Right.
I don't care what you say. or what imperfections I got, and understand
everybody
that everybody
has
got
them.
something.
Everybody.
I'm like, you might got a hemorrhoid on your butt, and you just don't nobody know.
Right? Nobody knows. But if you decide to be, I'm not telling you about the.
Who is it? After the
show. No.
This one right here can hold a secret until she dies. It's like, no. But I do feel like, you really got to sit and heal those things that you're dealing with, those things that made you feel away, because it's going to be really hard to be in relationship with new people or with anybody if every time they come around you, they feel like they're walking on eggshells,
And avoiding it doesn't mean it erases it. It just delays it because you're like a boiling pot. If that thing is in there, at some point, it's going to come out. It's going to overflow in all your relationships, whether it's with your significant other, your children, at work. Like some people that just walk around, they always mad or got an attitude. They at work and they don't want to answer no questions, but they in customer service or they running the cash register. Like,
why you always just so?
Why you just mad? Why you like? Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something. One of my pet peeves is an angry bartender or a nasty bartender, a bartender that don't got a smile on their face. Like, why are you here? I love happy bartenders that's back there. Even if you pretending, you back there, hey, how you doing today? Blah, blah, blah. You making them drinks and what you, and got you. I've seen people busy and a lot going on, and I know it's a lot, but they still find it a way to say hi, how you doing, have a conversation. Not, what else? Sitting your slamming your shit down, and you like, and I feel this. I don't even want it no more. The energy is I don't even want that food or that drink that you made because your energy all over. I don't know what it's going to do.
Now I'm about to drink it, and we all about to be.
Maybe that's why some of the times I've been at the bar, I got a little, because of what was the energy in my drink, and then it jumped on me.
Bye. You swallowed it.
That's why I drink in the house now.
You swallowed.
I don't swallow.
But I do feel like energy is huge. So when you are out,
it's everything,
and especially when you're at work, because, and I would say especially in customer service because that's huge. Because man,
you gotta deal with people.
Man,
you really need to clean your energy up on a daily. Like if you gotta go to work and work around people every day, every night, if you drive home, check your energy before you even go in your house. You don't even want to carry it in your house. Because that's a whole nother level of healing. Piled on energy that you take in day after day after day. Then you wonder why you all messed up. Why, we don't really think about that until you start researching energy and how we pick up different energies from different places, or how energy can be stagnant in your home and stuff and cause you to feel a certain way. That's why I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what none of y'all say that be talking about sage. I burn my sage. I'm getting these spirits out of here.
Wait, you burn sage?
I do all the time. Been burning sage for years, and I'm gonna continue burning sage. I'm gonna continue putting salt down. Yes, I believe in it all. You see, y'all might can't see, but I got my crystals on the table. Yes. Part of my healing.
Okay. You got any closing remarks for this topic?
My biggest, I guess my takeaway with this episode would be to say that from a person that avoided a lot of, well, not really avoided, some things I avoided, but found it hard to face things because they were so painful and so deep, and those things started at such a young age. I realized my relationships got better once I did the work. One of the things we didn't talk about was our healing when we started our healing from the first episode where we talked about that was one of the biggest steps we ever took as a family to start to heal, sitting down, having family meetings and getting it off our chest, starting from scratch. When I say that thing, now that right there, you need a little sage, might need a drink, might need to bring a drink to the table. I don't know. But from where, if we would have recorded those conversations all the way up to now and see the difference and see, we were already close knit, but close knit with a lot of
baggage, toxic,
a lot of shit in the mix, It was, but now is so different. The energy between us is so different. It's
Yeah.
so different. It's still we're even closer, and we're safe for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Some
I
of
would
us.
say definitely, yeah. Which some things are still
I think the
healing.
thing is that you got to understand that I don't care how much work you put in, it's always going to be
It's constant.
something that comes up because we're humans and humans make mistakes, and that's
Yes.
what's just going to happen. So I just
Have
feel
the
like
conversation, basically.
definitely have the conversation. And to piggyback off of our first episode, that really brought back some memories, because you realize that even having that first conversation was a lot to do. You like, do we really got to sit here and talk and really say everything we feeling about our mother? Tell her how we really feel? Or do I really want to point out what Janae really did to me, or how Misha made me feel, or that thing meant? Like, you start to realize, because you're nervous about how this is going to go. Is this going to end well? And
we gonna
even
be
in
friends,
that episode,
and we all live in the same house, right
together.
now.
Even in that episode, I realized that I mean, not in that episode, but in that conversation, I realized that you go into it fearful of what the end goal is going to be like. So when you go into these conversations and you go into these situations with other people and you say, hey, I want to talk, you cannot focus on the end goal.
No.
Because even our first conversation didn't end well. It didn't end well.
I went to my room and shut the door. I didn't want to talk to none of them.
She didn't want to talk. I don't even did.
I had to absorb all that.
I'm not even sure. Was Misha at the first one?
You know, because Misha...
I don't know if Misha was at the first.
But it
was a lot going on. And then once the head of the household leaves, we looking at each other as kids. Like, not even that we were kids at the time, but as her children, like, okay, so what y'all want to do next? You know what I mean? So don't expect things to go well the first time.
No.
Don't expect them to go well the second time. Just be okay with the process and not attached to the results. That will always be
show up.
Okay. That will always be my tagline.
No, because you know, some people be like, oh, well, y'all doing so well, but they didn't show up. That's why you not doing well. So well. You didn't show up. You got to show up.
Yeah, you got to.
It's like expecting to get paid, but you ain't show up from work.
Because that's painful right there.
That's that thing.
It's a lot. You hiding from it. You rather run from them than come here and say, hey, I'm here. You may not get all your words correctly. You may not have all the answers, but you're present.
Right.
Sometimes you just being present is enough. And, you know, I don't think she's walked off from a conversation since. You're doing good.
I'm doing
a good job. Pat yourself on the back, man. Especially from the era she came from. It's a completely different era.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they didn't get to talk. So she trying to figure out why you 3 motherfuckers think you talk to me any type of way. This is my house. Like, nah, like.
Right. And that's what most mothers, my age and older, they don't want to be confronted.
Yeah.
They feel like, I raised you, I paid the bills, I put clothes on. So that gave you a right to do this and that, make me feel that. So that gives me less right to voice my opinion on how I feel. No, it don't. It really don't. They have a right to have the conversation. They have a right to say, this is how I received you as my mother. Right. Now you can go ahead and run down all who you are as a person, but as a mother, I received you this way, and I want to let you know that. And then honestly, it's a good thing. You're like, I didn't even know I was coming off that way. And some things you do know, you just like, yeah, that was me. And you realize I gotta heal that. And you can explain to them where that comes from. Because 9 times out of 10, you picked it up from somebody and you just carried it on and pass it on to your children.
Right.
But a lot of times your kids won't do it if you have the conversation, you apologize, y'all go through the process, and hopefully that will help them avoid passing it down to the next generation. Right?
Speaking of apology, we hoped to see you in the next episode where we will be discussing apologies very, very deeply. How to do it, how not to do it, when and where, all of the things. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick because you said apology. So maybe think about it. But I feel like ending this episode, I do encourage everybody to do what needs to be done in whatever situation that you have to heal your own wounds and to come out of that funk that may be lingering around, that residue. So that way you don't go out in the world and vomit on people that did nothing to you
or block your blessings.
or block your blessings. I do feel like we all need healing in different areas of our lives, but we have to be willing to take that step to say, let me fix this.
Yeah.
So that way it don't trickle down into my kids, because we subconsciously pick up things that our parents do. It's nothing that you can do. Let me change how I move and things like that. So I do feel like you can't heal what you refuse to face. It'll always be there. And with that being said, we're going to close out this episode. We encourage you to go heal something tonight, okay? And we will see you all on the next episode. Ta-ta. Did you put your piece on?
I did.
Them fat ass fingers.